All right, so we want to be able to find ourselves on a sectional map. We want to be able to pinpoint our location, and we want to be able to pinpoint or find locations that we may be given the latitude and longitude for. A lot of times we hear that in the short form as Lat and Lon. So let's get into finding our place. All right, looking here at the globe, on the left, you see the equator in the center of the globe. Looking over here on the right, you see a line going up and down, which is similar to the equator line. It's dashed, and you can tell this is the prime meridian. When we were talking in a previous video, earlier lesson, we were talking about Zulu time, and the prime meridian is the line of longitude that runs through Greenwich, England, which is where the world clock is and where Zulu time starts and ends every day. So that is the significance of the prime meridian. So let's look back over here on the left to the equator. The equator is a line of latitude, and if you see the little arrow up there where it says latitude, it's showing you that the numbers continue to go up as you go north. So that line is 0 at the equator. Then you see a little bit further up, kind of a little bit above Florida there, where Florida would be, it says 30, and then way up in Canada it says 60, and at the very far North Pole it says 90 degrees. If you look down below the equator, you see that you have the same similar system, but the numbers are in negative. So let's go over now and look at the prime meridian. The prime meridian is a line of longitude. It starts at 0. Going over towards the east, going over towards the west, where we're located, you start with negative 30, then you see negative 60 as you go around. The negative 90 is well inside of the United States over there. The numbers are negative numbers, though, but when we see them on our sectional charts, they are not going to show up as negative numbers, and they will continue to increase as you go west. If you're looking from the prime meridian east, you notice that the numbers are positive, and they start at 30, 60, 90, and go around. Of course, on the actual sectional charts, they're not going to start at 30. They're going to start at 1 and then continue to go, each 1 degree. Now, each one of the boxes, like you see a box there, a square. So let's take a look from the prime meridian. Let's go from the 90-degree line, kind of comes across the prime meridian in the middle of Africa. But if you notice, there's squares there. So as soon as you leave the prime meridian and you go to the right, you're inside of a square to the right, inside of Africa there. Those lines of longitude go up by minutes and then by degrees. So we're going to get more into that here in a second, and I'm going to show you. Same thing happens with the lines of latitude. They have minutes and degrees, and of course the minutes are smaller bits and the degrees are the bigger pieces, but let's take a look at that here in a second. So let me introduce you to the type of question that you might see on the test. For instance, here it says, what airport is located approximately 47 degrees 40 minutes north latitude and 101 degrees 26 minutes west longitude? And above that, they're talking about going into this particular manual, this figures guide, which you have in the back of your textbook. And they're looking at figure 21. So you literally would have this figure 21 in your book when they give you the test. They'll give you a book and it'll have the figures so you can look them up. You can also look at them on the computer, but it's good to have it there on paper in front of you as well so that you can find things quicker and easier. But anyhow, I would like for you to take a moment and write this down, that you're looking for 47 degrees 40 minutes north latitude and 101 degrees 26 minutes west longitude. Freeze your screen now so that you can write this down. Okay, hopefully you froze that and you wrote that down, because now it's going to be important. We're going to go over here and start looking at the map itself. So let's go in and take a look. All right, so first of all, I want to show you a line of latitude. Remember, those are the rungs on the ladder, right? So if a ladder has two, like, I don't know what you'd call it, like bars, or metal or wood, whatever, that are going up and down, they're going vertical, and then you step on the horizontal lines. Those are the rungs of the ladder. So latitude starts out L-A-T, lat. So that's kind of like, if we don't say ladder, we say latter. Then we'll think about the rungs on the ladder, and those are the horizontal lines. So let me show you a line up here at the 48 degree line. So see, I've colored it red. That is the 48 degree line. It's 48 degrees from the equator. So the equator is 0, and then comes 1 degree, 2 degrees, 3 degrees, and we have made it all the way to 48 degrees here. So that is a degree line. And if you notice, next to the 48, it has a little tiny circle, and that little tiny circle is your degree signature there to tell you it is a degree. Now that is a line of latitude. 48 degrees. This in pink is a line of longitude. This one is 101 degrees. And it's a line of longitude. If you think about the lines going up and down on the earth, going vertical, those are your long lines. And longitude starts with L-O-N-G. So this would be your longitude. So longitude starting with the word long, and this would be longitude. This in the upper corner here on the right, I've put an arrow at the at a 1 minute marker. So these work just like in a ruler. The minutes are small, little tiny, like little hashes that stick up off the lines. And this works whether you're on a line of longitude or a line of latitude. In this case, we're on a line of latitude, but that is denoting a minute of longitude. So you've got to imagine a line running along with that arrow straight up and down. At that point, it would be 1 minute of longitude. So let's look at the fives. Fives are a little bit longer. If you notice, as we go to the left across here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 little tiny minute lines. And then we have a 5 minute line. Now that one I put a purple arrow on. So you notice it's a little bit taller than the rest of the little hashes. That tells you it is 5 minutes. And then in this case, 5 minutes of longitude. So what's a 10 look like? Well, if we count over 5 more, you notice to the left, there's a line that's crossing the latitude line there on both sides. It's not only taller than the 5 mark, but it's also got a dip down mark as well. So there it is. I put a black arrow to it. So that's what the 1 minute lines look like on the red arrow. The fives are on the purple. The 10s are there on the black. There's an additional line. If you continue on over from the black, you see you get to the 101 degree line again. And if you continue to the left past that, you see there's another line over there that you think, well, it should also have a degree marker, but it doesn't. It's a long line of longitude. It goes from the top of the bottom of the page, from one side to the other, but it does not have a number, a degree number. Well, this is a halfway point between degrees, and that would be, since there's 60 minutes in a degree, then this halfway mark would be 30 minutes. So let's review real quick. back to the arrows on the right-hand side. The reddish pink arrow is a 1 minute. It's pointing to a 1 minute of longitude. The purple is showing you a 5-minute longitude. The black is showing you 10. And then when we get to, well, where is 30? The 30 is way over here, where the red line is at. All right, so I'm going to take that down. Next, I'm going to put up another longitude line. It's blue down here at the bottom. I'm going to take it out, put it back in, just so that we can see it. All right, so you see it down at the bottom. That is a latitude line, but it doesn't have a number. Let's move this line again. You can look, you can see from left to right, there's no number there. Just like with the line of longitude that we had a minute ago, if it doesn't have a number, it's probably a 30. And I say probably because sometimes you have to hunt for numbers on a map because they may be very busy maps, and it may be hard for them to print in the numbers where you think they should be. So you might have to hunt up and down on a line to see if there's a number on it. But in this case, it's not. So there's no number there. It is a halfway point. It is the 30 marker. So now I want you to go back to the top of the page where the hot pinkish red line is across the 48 latitude line, 48 degree line. Well, that's 48. So everything below that, going back towards the equator, is less than 48, right? So we're starting out in the 47s, right? So this blue line is the 47 and a half, or 47 degrees, 30 minutes line. Again, 60 minutes in a degree, and this is the halfway point, so this would be the 47-30 line. So let's think about this problem that we had, where we had to find an airport that was on the 47 degree, 40 minutes north latitude line, and the 101 degree, 26 minute west longitude line. So if we counted up from the blue line, which we now know is the 47-30, and we go to the next line up, let's get on that 101 longitude line, and let's count minutes of latitude there. So the blue line is 30, the next little line is going to be 31, and so on until you get to the 10 marker, which would be 47-40. So let me draw a line there. 40, well, there's your arrow actually. 47-40 is right there. So again, let's take a look back. There's your 47-30. Here's your 47-40. Now let's draw a line and go across there and make an actual line of latitude across that line of longitude, because each one of those lines up there is a line of latitude. That's what it would look like right there if we drew a line of latitude across the 47-40. All right, so that's half of our problem solved. Now let's find this 101-26. Now we know where our 101 line is. There it is. The hot pink line is the 101. So let's find a 101 degrees and 1 minute. That arrow up there at the top on the 48 degree line, let me take it back out and show it to you again. There's the 101 degrees 1 minute. So where's the 101 degrees 5 minutes? Well, there it is, purple arrow, 101 degrees 5 minutes. So what about 10? There's the 101 degrees 10 minutes line. 101 degrees 20. So you should be by now getting the idea that if we move one more minute line to the left, that would be 21. And if you continued on over, your next 5 line would be 25. And the next 1 minute line past that to the left would be 26. Let's draw a line there. And there you go. So we're looking for that intersection of those two lines. We drew the longitude line across the 48 latitude, and we drew our latitude line across the 101 longitude line. And they crisscross there at Garrison Airport. If you look below the 4740 line that we drew first, you'll see the word Garrison there. You see that kind of purplish circle area, and dead underneath where they cross, you notice there's a magenta colored circle. That is the airport itself. And so the answer to this would be Garrison. You get you'd get three choices, and it would be two different other names and then Garrison. So this is how you would locate your place using longitude and latitude.